You know what's interesting? Walk into any American grocery store and you'll find bananas sitting there, usually the cheapest fruit in the produce section. Most people grab a bunch without thinking twice. But here's what most people don't realize. There's actually a reason bananas are classified as a superfood, and it has nothing to do with marketing hype. When you look at the nutritional breakdown of a single banana, you'll see it's packed with vitamins, minerals, and bioactive compounds that genuinely affect your body's physiology.
My name is David. I'm a general practitioner at Mayo Clinic in the United States, and I spend a lot of my time helping patients understand how everyday food choices, things as simple as eating a banana, can quietly influence cardiovascular health, blood sugar regulation, weight management, and even sleep quality over time.
After watching this, you'll understand exactly what happens inside your body when you make bananas a daily habit. And more importantly, you'll know how to eat them the right way to maximize health benefits while avoiding common mistakes that can backfire, especially if you're managing conditions like high blood pressure or type 2 diabetes.
Let's start with what happens to your heart and blood vessels. One medium banana contains about 9% of your daily potassium requirement, roughly 400 to 450 milligrams. Now, why does that matter?
Potassium is one of the most important electrolytes for regulating blood pressure, and here's the mechanism. Potassium helps your kidneys excrete excess sodium through urine. In the United States, where the average person consumes far more sodium than recommended, mostly from processed foods, restaurant meals, and packaged snacks, this sodium-potassium balance is constantly thrown off. When sodium levels stay elevated in your bloodstream, your body retains more water to dilute it, which increases blood volume. More blood volume means more pressure against your arterial walls. That's high blood pressure.
Eating a banana daily helps counteract this. The potassium doesn't just sit there. It actively signals your kidneys to release sodium and water, reducing blood volume and easing the strain on your cardiovascular system. This is why bananas are often recommended for people with hypertension. If you have high blood pressure or a family history of heart disease, eating 1 to 2 bananas a day is a simple, evidence-based dietary adjustment that aligns with recommendations from the American Heart Association. But there's more. Bananas also contain soluble fiber, about 3 grams per medium fruit. Soluble fiber dissolves in water and forms a gel-like substance in your digestive tract. This gel binds to cholesterol particles, specifically LDL cholesterol, preventing them from being absorbed into your bloodstream. Instead, they're escorted out of your body through your stool. Over time, this process helps lower your LDL cholesterol levels, which is critical for reducing plaque buildup in your arteries and lowering your risk of heart attack and stroke. So when you eat a banana, you're not just getting a quick snack, you're actively supporting your cardiovascular system through 2 distinct pathways: potassium-driven blood pressure regulation and fiber-driven cholesterol reduction. Now, this is where things get controversial. I hear this all the time in my practice. Doctor, I have diabetes. Should I avoid bananas because they're sweet? The answer is, it depends entirely on the banana. Here's what most people don't understand. Bananas change biochemically as they ripen, and this dramatically affects how they influence your blood sugar. A green or slightly ripe banana has a very different impact than an overripe banana covered in brown spots.
When a banana is green or just turning yellow, it contains a type of carbohydrate called resistant starch. Resistant starch behaves more like fiber than sugar. It resists digestion in your small intestine and moves into your colon, where it ferments and feeds beneficial gut bacteria. Because it's not broken down into glucose quickly, it doesn't spike your blood sugar. In fact, research suggests that resistant starch improves insulin sensitivity, meaning your cells become more responsive to insulin's signal to absorb glucose from your bloodstream.
This is huge for people with type 2 diabetes, where the core problem is insulin resistance. Your cells stop responding properly to insulin, so glucose builds up in your blood. Eating a banana that's green or just barely ripe can actually help reverse this resistance over time.
But here's the flip side. As a banana ripens, that resistant starch converts into simple sugars, primarily fructose, glucose, and sucrose.
An overripe banana with dark brown spots and soft, mushy flesh has much higher sugar content and a higher glycemic index. If you're managing diabetes and you eat 2 or 3 overripe bananas in one sitting, yes, your blood sugar will spike.
So the key isn't to avoid bananas, it's to choose the right ripeness and portion size. If you have diabetes, aim for bananas that are yellow with just a few small brown spots. That's the sweet spot, literally and metabolically. At that stage, the banana still has some resistant starch, moderate natural sugars, and won't cause dramatic blood sugar swings. Eating half to 1 banana a day at this ripeness is generally safe and beneficial for most people with type 2 diabetes, especially when paired with a source of protein or healthy fat to further slow glucose absorption.
Here's another common misconception I run into. Bananas are fattening because they're sweet.
Not quite. Whether bananas help or hurt your weight management efforts depends entirely on how and when you eat them. Bananas contain a compound called pectin, a type of soluble fiber that slows gastric emptying, meaning food stays in your stomach longer. This triggers satiety signals in your brain, reducing your appetite for hours afterward. If you eat a banana with your breakfast, let's say oatmeal, eggs, and a banana, you're likely to feel fuller by mid-morning and less tempted to snack on high-calorie processed foods. This is where bananas can support weight loss. By curbing hunger and reducing overall calorie intake at subsequent meals, they help create a caloric deficit without making you feel deprived. Studies have shown that people who eat foods high in pectin and resistant starch consume fewer calories throughout the day without consciously trying.
But, and this is important, eating 3 or 4 overripe bananas a day will backfire. Each banana contains roughly 100 to 110 calories, and overripe bananas have concentrated sugars. If you're adding several bananas on top of your regular meals without adjusting anything else, you're simply adding calories, which can lead to weight gain.
The smart approach: 1 to 2 bananas daily, ideally in the morning or as a pre-workout snack. This leverages the satiety effect without overdoing calorie or sugar intake. If you're actively trying to lose weight, stick to bananas that are just turning yellow or slightly green, and pair them with protein, like a handful of almonds or a scoop of Greek yogurt, to further stabilize blood sugar in prolonged fullness.
Here's something that surprises a lot of people. Bananas can actually help you relax and sleep better. Bananas contain an amino acid called tryptophan. Your body uses tryptophan to produce serotonin, a neurotransmitter that regulates mood, anxiety, and sleep-wake cycles. Serotonin is then converted into melatonin, the hormone that signals your brain it's time to sleep.
Now, eating 1 banana won't knock you out like a sleeping pill. This isn't pharmaceutical intervention. But if you're someone who struggles with stress, anxiety, or mild insomnia, adding a banana to your evening routine can support your body's natural relaxation pathways. The tryptophan provides the raw material, and the natural sugars in the banana help transport tryptophan into your brain more efficiently by triggering a small insulin release, which clears competing amino acids from your bloodstream.
I often recommend this to patients who have trouble winding down at night, especially if they're not interested in sleep medications. Eat a banana about an hour after dinner, maybe with a small handful of walnuts or a cup of chamomile tea. It's a gentle, natural way to encourage relaxation and improve sleep onset without side effects.
If you're physically active, whether you're hitting the gym, running, cycling, or just walking regularly, bananas are one of the best pre- and post-workout snacks you can choose. Why? 2 reasons: quick digesting carbohydrates and potassium. Before a workout, your muscles need readily available glucose for energy. A banana provides about 25 to 30 grams of carbohydrates that digest quickly, giving you a clean energy boost without the crash that comes from processed sugary snacks. Many athletes eat a banana 30 to 45 minutes before exercise for exactly this reason. It's nature's energy bar. After a workout, your muscles are depleted of glycogen, stored glucose, and you've lost electrolytes through sweat, particularly sodium and potassium. Eating a banana post-exercise helps replenish glycogen stores and restore electrolyte balance, which reduces muscle cramping and speeds recovery. This is why you often see bananas at the finish line of marathons and triathlons. The potassium is especially critical here. Muscle cramps during or after exercise are often a sign of electrolyte imbalance, and bananas provide a concentrated, convenient source of potassium without added sugars or artificial ingredients. Pair a banana with a protein source, like a hard-boiled egg or a protein shake, and you've got a complete recovery snack that supports muscle repair and glycogen replenishment. So, here's what all of this comes down to in real, practical terms. Choose the right ripeness. If you have diabetes, high blood sugar, or you're trying to lose weight, go for bananas that are yellow with minimal brown spots. If you want maximum resistant starch for gut health and blood sugar control, choose bananas that are still slightly green. If you need quick energy for a workout, a riper banana is fine.
Stick to 1 or 2 bananas a day. More than that, and you're likely overshooting your sugar and calorie needs, unless you're an endurance athlete. Time them strategically. Morning is ideal for appetite control and steady energy. Pre-workout works for quick fuel. Post-dinner can support relaxation and sleep. Pair them with protein or fat. This slows sugar absorption, prolongs satiety, and prevents blood sugar spikes. Think bananas with almond butter, Greek yogurts, or a handful of nuts. And remember, bananas are affordable, portable, and nutrient-dense. In the United States, where convenience often trumps nutrition, bananas are one of the easiest ways to make a genuinely healthy choice without overthinking it. Here's the bigger picture. Most chronic diseases we see in primary care, hypertension, type 2 diabetes, obesity, cardiovascular disease, don't develop overnight. They're the result of years of small, repeated choices that either support or undermine your body's metabolic balance. Eating a banana every day isn't a cure-all, but it's a small, sustainable habit that supports multiple systems in your body: cardiovascular health through potassium and fiber, blood sugar regulation through resistant starch, weight management through satiety, mood and sleep through tryptophan, and physical performance through readily available carbohydrates. The key is consistency and intentionality. Don't just grab any banana and assume it's all the same. Pay attention to ripeness. Pay attention to portion size. Pay attention to when and how you're eating it. And if you have specific health concerns, diabetes, kidney disease, or you're on medications that affect potassium levels, talk to your primary care physician before making bananas a daily habit. For most people, though, this is one of the simplest, safest, and most effective dietary changes you can make. So the next time you're at the grocery store, don't just walk past the bananas. Grab a bunch. Eat one tomorrow morning with your breakfast. Notice how you feel. Notice your energy, your hunger levels, your mood. Small changes done consistently create real, measurable health outcomes over time. That's what good medicine looks like. Not complicated, not expensive, just evidence-based, practical, and sustainable.